Welcome to the CompTIA Project Plus Prepcast by baremetalcyber.com. When most people think about planning a project, the first things that come to mind are schedules and budgets. Those are critical, but if you stop there, you're leaving major gaps in how you manage the work. A truly complete plan needs more than just timelines and cost tracking. It also has to prepare for risks, make sure the quality is built in from the start, and have a clear path for handing over the deliverable at the end. Risk planning is about foreseeing and addressing potential problems before they disrupt the work. Quality planning ensures every deliverable meets the agreed standards without costly rework. Transition planning makes sure that, when the project wraps up, the receiving team is ready to take ownership without confusion or downtime. Together, these elements create a safety net that keeps the project on course from kickoff to closure. Risk planning is essentially your way of looking around corners. It's about asking, what could happen that would throw us off or move us forward faster, and then making decisions before those events have a chance to surprise you. This is not just about reducing bad outcomes. It's also about recognizing positive possibilities that might speed up delivery, improve results, or increase value. The process begins by documenting potential risks, then evaluating how significant they are, assigning responsibility for watching them, and creating strategies for how to respond if they occur. Done right, this turns uncertainty into something you can manage, rather than something that controls you. Finding those risks means you have to be thorough and creative at the same time. This is not a single activity. It's an ongoing part of the project. You can hold brainstorming sessions with the project team, use checklists based on prior experience, analyze data from past projects, or seek input from subject matter experts who know where trouble tends to appear. Risks can be purely technical, like a key system failing, or they can come from outside forces, such as regulatory changes or supply chain disruptions. They can also be internal, such as losing key staff or tied to resource shortages. The earlier you detect them, the more options you have to plan for them, which is why a formal risk log should be started early and updated regularly. Once risks are identified, you need a way to sort through them so you're focusing your time where it matters most. That's where qualitative risk analysis comes in. This involves giving each risk a probability rating, how likely it is to occur, and an impact rating, how much trouble it would cause if it did. By combining these, you can quickly see which items rise to the top of the priority list. Tools like a probability impact matrix make this visible, helping you communicate clearly to the team and stakeholders which risks deserve immediate attention. The higher the score, the more likely it will need either deeper analysis or proactive response planning. In certain projects, especially those with high stakes or tight constraints, qualitative ratings are not enough. That's when you move into quantitative risk analysis, where you assign actual numbers to potential outcomes. This could involve calculating expected monetary value to put a dollar figure on potential impacts, or running simulations like Monte Carlo analysis to see how different combinations of events could affect your timeline or budget. This approach takes more effort and often requires specialized tools or expertise, but it's invaluable when you need to justify contingency reserves or schedule buffers to sponsors. With the risks understood, it's time to decide what you're going to do about them. For negative risks, things that could harm the project, you might avoid them entirely by changing the plan. Reduce the chance or impact through mitigation. Transfer the responsibility to another party, such as an insurer or vendor, or accept them and simply monitor. For positive risks, opportunities, you could actively exploit them to get the maximum benefit, enhance their potential, share them with a partner, or accept them and be ready to act if they materialize. Each planned response goes into the risk register along with the name of the person who owns it, so accountability is built into the process. The risk register is more than just a list. It's the control center for all your risk management activities. It contains each risk's ID, description, category, probability, impact, and planned response. It also records who is responsible, what triggers to look out for, and the current status. This document changes as the project progresses. Some risks will be closed, new ones will appear, and response strategies may shift. Because it captures the complete risk picture in one place, it's the primary tool for keeping the project team and stakeholders aligned on what threats and opportunities are being managed and how. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Quality planning is your blueprint for making sure the work meets the standards everyone agreed to before the project began. It's not just about checking for defects at the end. It's about building quality into every step so problems are prevented rather than fixed later. A good quality plan lays out the standards you'll follow, the metrics you'll track, and the assurance and control activities you'll carry out. By weaving quality into every phase, from defining requirements to final delivery, you make it part of how the team works instead of something that's bolted on at the end. A quality management plan puts those ideas into a clear, actionable document. It describes who is responsible for quality-related tasks, which tools will be used, when and how reviews will take place, and what the quality objectives are for the project. It specifies exactly how deliverables will be verified and validated, and it defines the acceptance criteria for each key output. By doing this upfront, you ensure the whole team is aligned on what good looks like and how it will be measured. Defining the right quality standards and metrics is a critical part of this process. Those standards could come from industry best practices, internal company policies, or regulatory requirements that apply to your work. Metrics might include defect rates, test coverage percentages, review frequencies, or the percentage of work that has to be redone. Whatever they are, you need a way to measure them, usually through dashboards or quality logs, because without measurement, quality goals remain vague and unenforceable. One area where people sometimes get confused is the difference between quality assurance and quality control. Quality assurance is proactive and process-focused. It's about preventing defects before they happen. Quality control is reactive and product-focused. It's about finding and fixing problems once something has been produced. QA activities might include audits, process improvements, and peer reviews, while QC activities include inspections, testing, and final acceptance checks. Both are important, but QA helps you avoid the expensive mistakes that QC will otherwise have to catch. To make quality real in a project, you need to integrate QA activities into the schedule from the very start. That means giving reviews, checkpoints, and audits their own time slots and resource assignments, just like you would for technical work. When QA is visible on the schedule, it's harder for it to be rushed or skipped under deadline pressure. And timing matters. If you wait until late in the process to look for problems, you may find that fixing them is either extremely costly or impossible. Deliverable validation is another piece of the quality puzzle. This is where you confirm that the output does exactly what the user or customer needs it to do. That might involve user acceptance testing, pilot releases, or field trials, depending on the type of project. The criteria for validation should be defined during planning so there's no debate later about what passes and what fails. User feedback during this stage is essential. Sometimes it confirms you've hit the mark, and other times it's your opportunity to make final adjustments before full release. Transition planning is all about what happens after your team has finished building the deliverable. It's preparing the organization to adopt, operate, or support whatever you've delivered. This involves more than just a technical handoff. It includes training people, providing documentation, and ensuring the right resources are in place. A smooth transition means there's no drop in performance or service when your project ends and operations take over. Part of transition planning is creating training and knowledge transfer plans. This ensures that both internal teams and end users know how to use and support the new system, product, or process. It includes preparing standard operating procedures, detailed documentation, and possibly hosting live walkthroughs. Subject matter experts can lead these sessions or mentor team members to build confidence and capability. Training must be tracked to confirm that everyone who needs it has completed it before the handoff. Documentation and handoff requirements are just as important as the training. Final deliverables should be accompanied by all relevant technical specifications, user guides, and change logs. The receiving team needs this information to maintain and support the system without constant back and forth with the project team. In some cases, a formal delivery confirmation or sign-off is used to close out the transition. Skipping proper documentation makes future support riskier and more expensive. Planning for post-deployment support is the last step in a strong transition plan. This means knowing who will handle issues after launch, what the escalation paths are, and what response times or service levels are required. Support agreements, such as service level agreements or warranties, should be clear and in place before the project closes. The project manager's job here is to make sure that when the project is done, the organization is truly ready to keep things running. When you look at all of this together, risk planning, quality planning, and transition strategies, you can see how they work as a safety net for the entire project. Risk planning keeps surprises from derailing you. Quality planning ensures you deliver something that meets or exceeds expectations. Transition planning makes sure your work lives on successfully after the project ends. These are not just extras to think about if you have time. They are essential for ensuring that the project delivers lasting value and that success continues well beyond delivery day. Thank you for listening. Please follow baremetalcyber.com on social media and check out our books at cyberauthor.me.